Classics. Sunday Night Live, 8 o'clock, and we're going to do some upholstery, right? Go to the site, you can get some new mugs. We got mugs, hats, and shirts. It's all good stuff. If you were following my channel, this is probably like part 4 of the upholstery. We've been working on the interior of the... Oh, wait a minute. That's bad. All right. Helps if you're in the camera. Let's see. All right, that's better. Anyway, that's better. Whew. Camera problems. All right, so if you've been following the channel, like I was saying, this is like part 4. I'm going to go over what we did, basically show you what I did, and I finished. If you were here last week, I finished the seat. I got it like 90% done on camera, and I finished it. So I'm going to go show you that, and I think tonight, oh yeah, got the Olympic chair sitting here. Tonight we're going to do something cool because I don't think very many people are aware of this little seat we're going to do. It's called a buddy seat. Chrysler made it 1967 only. The 66 Charger, if I'm correct, had a console. And they were having some complaints that you put your kids in the back seat of the car, you have to get them out the same door. They can't climb over the console. So they put this little flip buddy seat, which I'm going to show you, and we're going to tear it apart and see what we got to do to fix it. We're going to make it all brand new. But let me show you what I did this week, or after the show, whatever I did on Tuesday. I finished the seat. So come with me. Yeah, I'll show you. All right, so we got, these are the bottoms I did, but this is the back I did. And if you remember, this is all brand new. I made the little crest in there to match, and I polished up the best I could, all the mechanisms, and I made this little air, I made this little like vent thing that goes on the bottom. Here's the old one. Okay, you see, it's kind of like a burlap, but it's not. And so I have this one to do. Since I already did the one, I'm just going to do this one off camera, I guess, unless you guys want me to see me recreate this one. But I would think that's kind of boring. So this will finish the back seats. All right. This one's done. I got to do the other side there, right? But tonight we're going to work on this guy here, right? This is bad. This is a little crusty and the whole 9 yards. We're going to take this apart and make a pattern out of that. And in the back seat of the Charger, this is what they put in. Okay, this goes over the hump, and then you know your kids can get out of the seat, and when they're out of the seat, this would flip down the whole 9 yards. But we're gonna recreate this too as well. That's shot. All right, so let me get the camera back up here, and come on, yeah. All right, let's get rolling. Let me back it up a little bit. Probably get my laptop out of the way. All right. All right. Awesome. Yeah, we got to move the laptop, unfortunately. Let's put it over here. All right, laptop goes over here. Okay, so I can still see what's going on. All right, can everybody see? I need some Allen keys on this. I can see that already. I'm losing. There we are. Good. I can see everybody. Alright, so how we're going to attack this, first thing I got to do, obviously, I got to get an Allen key. And this has some hot rings on the bottom. We got to take all these off. But before we do that, I want to separate this seat from the bottom seat. And I need an Allen key for that. So let me go get the Allen key real quick. Don't move. Be right back. All right. So we got the Allen key here. Nope. Guess it did. Awesome. Well, one thing's good. I can tell you, it's not metric. Isn't it nice working on cars, and you only need like 3 wrenches? I don't know. I do. I like it. All right. Now, when I take things apart, I always put them in a bag of some sort so I don't lose them, because you're going to lose everything because it just happens. So I'll put this right in here. And this, don't lose that either. I'm a little bit under the weather today. I'm not quite myself. Well, I'm myself. I'm still me, but you get the gist of I'm not 100%. I'm struggling right now. How's that? But the show must go on, right? That's good. All right, that comes off. You want to save this little plastic disc. All right, so this is off. Put this right in the bag here. All right. Okay. The bolts, might as well take these off. When I took them out of the car, I usually put them right back in so I do not lose them. And I think these are the same bolts anyway, so can't go wrong there. Other than the tops, you know, the seat looking like crap, the padding and underneath of everything I've taken apart on this car so far, it's like brand new. I mean, it looks brand new. Yeah. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good, right? That's what you get. All right. So before I go any further, I'm going to mark this up a little bit with my marker. Now I used a Sharpie. You can use a Sharpie on this because the vinyl is getting chucked. We're chucking this. But I just want to put some reference marks as I'm making this pattern up, so they line up when I go to put it back together. That's all. And the more the merrier, really. Okay, reference marks, and This is going to be fun actually making this. I'm going to put one here too. Alright. Back. Alright. Good enough. I think that's good enough. We could take these hard rings out. Yeah, look how cruddy that is. Can you see that? That's like mold and crud. Good stuff. Alright. Let's pop the hog rings off. I use a pair of diagonals. Works the best. Just not cutting them. I'm twisting them. Hey, last week we had 3,500 people show up to my upholstery class I did last I think it was Tuesday I did it, or Wednesday? I did it Wednesday. Yeah, 3,500 people. Man, I appreciate it. Alright. Popping these off as we go. Try to keep it clean as we go too, so I don't step on them or something. Alright. Anybody have any questions? Go ahead and ask. I'm staring right at my monitor's right there. I usually have the Olympics on, but I don't have it tonight. I had enough Olympics for today. Pull off all the hog rings. Sometimes these little seats like this are just as involved as doing like the back seat, or you know what I mean. These little, there's a lot of little things to do. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts in these. And once I take this apart, I'll show you what I mean. There's going to be a lot of patterns to cut out of this. And on something like this, when I do upholstery, it's either going to be stock, I'm making it back the exact way I took it apart, or it's going to be custom. So custom, I would just throw everything away and start from scratch. But I'm going to do my best to recreate exactly what we got here, but we're using obviously new vinyl. And sometimes, 9 times out of 10, padding. Now this is part 4 of, I think I did 3 nights of this already. That's how we got the seats, the other seats done. I'm going to keep rolling with this until I run out of, I'm still looking for seats for the front. But until we finish this, we'll do this every night, and every Sunday night or every Tuesday night, whatever I can get out here to do it. And we'll just work on this project basically together, and you can watch how I do it. Alright, so this is pretty tight here. Okay, see, this is a flap. This is like a little flap, because I think you can't put this together sewn all together. So you have to have it, yeah. See how this folds out? If this was sewn into one piece like this, you would never get it. You would never get it over the frame. So this is a factory. This is factory 67. So this has been on here for quite some time. When I did the Oldsmobile, which is a 56, your padding is 9 times out of 10 on an older vehicle than this. Your padding is completely done. It's shot. You're not saving it. I might be able to save this. What I would do is I get the steamer out. Yeah, see this still has a lot of. It's not dry to the point where it's shot. I could probably bring this right back to life with a little bit of steam. All right, we have 20 some people watching. Anybody have any questions? Let me get this off here and show you what we're working with here. Yeah. What are you doing? This is not sliding. There it goes. And it usually has a nice smell to it, to old vinyl. Yeah, it usually has a nice. There it goes. Pop the thing off. We're going to save these guys too, clean these up. Alright. That got to get cleaned. So, there we go. As you can see, this thing is very, very clean underneath. Alright. I won't have very much to worry about with the foam. Let me get this out of the way a little bit and clean up this little mess I just made. Kind of looks like Daniel Larson. Why does Johnny Cash look like Daniel Larson? God, I hate to say this. I don't know who Daniel Larson is. Who's Daniel Larson? Help me out. Maybe I know, but it's not ringing a bell. Alright. So, next step is we're going to cut this up into each section. Alright. So we got 1, 2, 3. We got 3. Basically just 3 sections. Alright. So what I use is a sharp razor blade. I have a whole box. I think Hobo Freight. You can buy. I get these. I buy boxes of these because you really want to have a sharp razor when you're doing that. All right, and don't cut your fingers. So where you want to go? I'm going to start This is actually going to add 2 more pieces to this, but let's cut this apart from right in the back. All right, now since the thread is brittle, this shouldn't be too bad. Let me see, can you see? I just take the razor blade and just go right down the old thread. It just peels right apart. Okay. All right. Now, if I wasn't going to recreate this exactly the way it came from the factory, I wouldn't have to really be so precise. But it's good practice when you're doing something that has to be recreated. And I want this interior to be basically factory. So I do like to do custom work, like I did on the Oldsmobile. I think I showed everybody the Oldsmobile last live stream. Yeah, that Johnny Cash poster, that's him from like 1956. He was pretty young then. The new vinyl that I'm putting back on is going to be much more flexible than this. This is just brittle. This is just brittle stuff. And I can't stress enough that if you take your time in making the patterns or whatever you're recreating, the time you make being precise with making your patterns is going to pay dividends when you go to put everything back together. You won't have to guess it. You just go with it because you know you have a good pattern. You take your time. If you don't and your pattern's off, it's going to be off when you go to sew it, and then it is what it is. You're going to have to come back and try to fix it. All right. Now, here's what I do at the end here. All right, I leave like 1 or 2 threads holding it. All right, that way everything stays together. You can even do this if you want. You can either just put a big number 1. Okay, this is number 2. All right. And that way you know 1 goes to 2, 2 goes to 3. This could be 3. However you want to do it so you don't forget. I have to cut this side out now. Um, yeah, I've been having bad migraines today. I don't know what it's from. I don't know. Aliens? I don't know. Jet? What do you call those things? Jet trails? I don't know, but I had a headache today and it's ridiculous. It's that kind of headache that you don't even want to open your eyeballs. Alright. And there's a lot of little things that have to be done to this to recreate this. I can't see. Let me zip this off and then I'll show you what we're going to do next. And once again, this is all garbage, but you have to, I want to use it to make my patterns out of the new vinyl, and I want it to be as accurate as can be. I think it's good practice to be as accurate as can be, because just winging it isn't going to look good on your finished product. Yeah, that helps too that the thread is brittle. It's what, 58 years old? You would be brittle too. Almost there. So now we have 3, this will be 4, this will be 5. So I could technically start cutting this new pattern out. Gotta keep in mind now you have, this has some wire in it to hog ring. So you gotta add that to your piece, you know, whatever you're gonna come up with. And you gotta make my own piping. So you got to have enough piping, which I use this little guy here. It's the same. It should be about the same diameter. Yeah, give or take. That should be good for the piping. Oh. Okay. That's good. You put these in here. Will they fit? Yahtzee. Alright, we're going to put this aside. This is our pattern for the buddy seat. The bottom of it anyway. Now, we're going to do the same thing to the top. Can't wait to see what's in here. Alright, we got 2 screws. holding it together. I guess I'm gonna have to Google Daniel Larson. I don't know who he is. Is he a hockey player? Man, I'm not good with contemporary things or with what's going on new in the world. So. All right. He's got to go in the bag. All right, staples. Piece of wood in there too. Get the staple puller. Pop these staples out. This little seat's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun thing to do. I know they make flip down seats and cars and armrests and stuff, but this is only a one year thing they did in '67 before they came out with the second gen Chargers. But keep in mind, everybody who tunes in, keep in mind that I do complete car restorations, right? And what's one of the things you got to do in a car restoration is interior. I don't know why people shy away from it. I shouldn't say that. I did too when I was younger. I did too, and I find it more enjoyable now. So if you're going to restore your car, if you're going to restore any car, the more work you can do yourself correctly, if I can say that, the more work you can do correctly, the better outcome it's going to be when you go to sell it. It just makes sense. All right, we're going to put some lines on here. Just a little reference line so I can line this back up. I know this isn't really exciting, but it is what it is. You know, I got this on the front, kind of like a French seam. Let's put some marks down too, because that's gonna be two pieces. All right, now we're gonna peel this right off. It doesn't really matter which side. Let's peel this side off. Where's my knife? Where's my knife? Is it? Alright, here we go. Razor blade. Right, you know what? Need a drink. Alright. Same deal. Hold a little pressure on that, and you start peeling it right off. There, it'll start popping. Listen, I could probably just go and cut this, but I want to show you how to take it off like a human. That way, if it's something that you really can't just butcher, I could just take the knife and just go and just cut this. But I'm trying to show you how to take the exact panel off. I think it was snowing when I came out here tonight. I am not happy about that. Yeah, this foam's looking good too. If the foam is real hard and crumbly, then it's definitely has to be replaced. Can't save it. Right? This is all part of doing the interior, the complete interior. I can't just sit here and sew seats, you know. I can't sew seats for you every night. There's other things that need to be done. And this is one of them. These inside little flip down seats are just as important as the whole seat I did. So everything has to get its own TLC. You gotta just take your time. Good enough. Let's see. Wow. That is a nice shape. Little wood, little piece of plywood in there. Very nice. Boy, for 58 years old, this is in very nice shape. Alright, put that aside. Okay, now we're down to, let's finish this, and then I'll have, we can make patterns for this as well. This whole thing has to be flipped inside out. I can't do it. I can't do it with this because the material's shut. But when you sew this, yeah, obviously this has to be inverted, right? And then it just closes up and gets stapled. So, but cool design. Finish this up quick. I'm glad you showed up. I'm glad people showed up again. I mean, I had 3,500 people show up last Wednesday, and this is what I normally do, and I might as well just have you come out and watch me do it. Anybody has any questions, ask away. this has that old musty garage smell to it. Old cracking, crusty vinyl. A little bit of mold on it. Good stuff. Now, if you're interested, go back and watch the other videos I did leading up to where we're at today. I think I did 4 of them. So far, this whole interior, I kind of been doing it live. So I didn't even order the carpet for the car yet, so the carpet has to go in. And if you're familiar with a 67 or 66 Charger, the interior of them they're just endless. So there's flip down. Everything flips down, even in the trunk. All right, I can get a pattern out of this now. There's my marker. I'll label it just for the sake of labeling it. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna have 4. We're gonna have 4 pieces on this. And the end gets folded over, that's it. Actually, this piece here, I could cheat. I can make this whole piece here as one and just sew a French stitch right across here. That's what I'll do. Look, I'm already saving time. All right. So this is done. This is ready to be made into a pattern off of, you know, the new vinyl. Okay. Let me put this over here. All right, got one more. This is cool. Now, obviously, you know what I miss about cars today? There's no more ashtray. Light your cigarette, you know. All right. I remember my parents used to bowl, and they would come home from bowling. Oh, they stunk. They stunk like cigarettes. But that was the bowling alley. Man, they used to smoke everywhere. You don't realize, kids today don't realize that we used to smoke in all your diners, Perkins, you name it. Bowling alleys. Everybody smoked. Of course, unfortunately, most of those people are gone because the smoking probably killed them, but it is what it is. That's just the time. Alright. So that is the trim piece that I just saved. This is cool. This is going to be cool. This is actually molded. This is not even sewn. That is fake. That is fake stitching on there. How the hell am I going to make that? I'll show you. Alright. That's what I want. Now this I better put the screws back in. Oh no, I can't. Right. This is gonna go sit over on the floor. This is what I want. let me sit down. Remember, I don't feel good. All right. So, this, you can see it. This stitch right here, running down the side. On both sides. That's fake. That's a piece of molded plastic. This is going to be very interesting. Yeah, this whole thing is like a molded piece of plastic. But this, oh, I don't know about this. This is not vinyl. This is all molded plastic. But I think I can wrap it. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's a molded piece of plastic. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pretend we didn't see nothing, and I'm gonna cover this and make my own cover for it. That looks as close as I can to this, and we'll clean this up, we'll glue it, and put it back on, because this is plastic. This is not even vinyl. Those bastards. What the hell are they doing? All right, let's put that aside. All right, got one more to tear apart. Since you're all here, let's do the chair. Let's do the seat. All right, let's do the seat. Let me move this out of here. What time is it? 19. All right, we have 8:47. Oh, we got some time. What I want to show you, these seats fold down, and then there's a piece of carpet that goes on top, and the carpet kit comes with all brand new carpet, so keep that in mind. The endless carpet. First things first, I want to take this emblem off the front. Yeah, this emblem here. It took me probably a good hour to redo that. I'll show you how to do it. It just takes a lot of time. You gotta heat up the vinyl, glue, a lot of glue, a little bit of patience. You know, I'm gonna take this door apart, take this seat apart, and then everything's done. Then I don't want to take anything apart. Then we can just start sewing. All right, let me see. Any money? No, no money. But once again, it is absolutely spotless inside this seat. Alright, so we take this off. Right? We're going to redo that. Come on. This is the back plate for this. And I'm not going to do it right now, but this slides out, and this is a piece of vinyl that's carefully put in there, and we're going to redo it, just not tonight. All right, let's get the side trims off. Another tip I would say, if you're doing like all your seats, there's a couple ways you can approach it. Now, if you take all your seats apart and tear everything down, you're not going to have anything for reference. So on certain things you can get away with it. On certain things it's probably safer not to. Do one side at a time. Obviously for speed, to knock these seats out without recording it and say, I would just do everything at once. And you make the same pattern for the other side just by flipping it. But for explaining purposes, it's easier to show you a completed seat, and that way you have it for reference when you tear this one down. Uh-oh, I forget how to put it back together. Right? Unless you have the seat or another car just like it, you're not going to know how to put it back together. Even with the Googler and the internet and all that. Ooh, I gotta take that out. Hold on. We gotta hit stuff. Hit stuff. Little pin. Little collar. Oh, that'll come off. Whew. I never get over that smell, that moldy vinyl smell. Good stuff. It's got vitamins, I guess, in it. I don't know. I don't think it's good for you. I'm gonna hit this. Ta-da! Okay, put that there, don't lose that. Don't lose that. Alright, I think I'm ready to take this apart. Oh, one more piece here. Now, I guess this is late 60s, so they did all kinds of things to try to speed up production on the assembly line. And one of the things they did, they got rid of hog rings on these seats. So when they were making them, they would just take it and flip it over this little metal tab. And these tabs that are on here, if you can see, I'll show you. These little tabs, they look like teeth. They're only really meant to go shut once. They usually break. They weren't really thinking about, one day some guy named Joe's going to reupholster this. No. They were not thinking that. So worst case scenario, once they break, we could put a flange, put a self tapper, something in there, so the carpet will come up and cover the. You'll see. Got to do something. You got to do something. Sometimes you got to be creative with it. All right, that's good. Let me get these off, and then we'll take the bottom off, and then we'll take this whole thing off. Nice thing about not having hog ring is I can just pop this right off, no problem. Except for that one. Okay, so that's off. Let me pop the bottom off of here. Well, doesn't want to come off. We're gonna make it off. Okay. Okay, good, good. All right, good. It's one thing that I guess they can't recreate. Is the smell. Whew. They don't smell bad on the outside, but they stink on the inside. Alright, this is not coming off. Wrench, wrench, wrench. Don't need it. Don't need it. Okay. Okay. Ta-da! Can I say that? There it is. There's no money in it. There's no big stash of cash. But this is looking really good. The foam on this. Set it right there. Alright. Now if you remember a couple videos back, I just did this on the other side. So we're going to mark this up. We're going to cut this up. We're going to make a pattern for the front. So all this, glue it on a nice piece of 1/4 inch scrim back foam, and we are going to replicate this. Right? Now before I tear it apart, I'm putting reference marks on here. This is to line my pattern up when I go to sew everything back together. That's all that is. I write right on here with a marker because this is getting thrown in the garbage anyway. Um, Let me just show you real quick. Those of you just tuning in, hold on. A lot of you just tuned in, but here's the new seat. I just did this one on camera last week. Okay, this is the new seat. This is the old one. I'm making a new pattern. Okay, out of that, and it's gonna look like this. These are the bottoms. These are the bottoms. These bottoms I did a couple weeks ago. Probably did these maybe even longer. But anyway, if you go back the last video, this is what we did. Put this together and redid this all brand new. All right, so let's get back to what we're doing, ripping this apart. Once again, I restore cars here. I restore classic cars and hot rods. And one of the things when you restore a vehicle is the interior. Don't shy away from it. What's the difference? You build the motor, you do the paint in the car, you wire the car, and then you send the interior out. It's just as rewarding to do the upholstery, I think. I enjoy it. Let me finish up my marks. Right. Put some down here. And this doesn't matter. This is just getting a little top piece on here for the hog rings or the hooks like I showed you. Alright, we can cut this apart. This one should go a little quicker. I'm just going to take this apart and we will be ready to cut out our new vinyl. Yeah, once again, I'm a little bit under the weather tonight. I don't know why. It just happens. You know, that time of year. I take my vitamins, you know. What are you supposed to do? Hey, if you like what I do, like and subscribe. If you like even more of what I do, send me a super chat, something, right? It's all good. If you have any questions, what do we got? Hello, what's that say? Francisco, is that Italian? Come stai, Francisco? Buonasera. It's actually, it's 9:04 here, so. Yes. Ah, okay. Mi dispiace. I speak Italian, I don't speak Spanish. I should be over at the Olympics, right? Olympic Upholstery. I mean, knock on wood, for all the times I cut this seam with a razor blade, I have not cut myself. I should have said that right. Okay, there's one. There's one, and we'll mark it 1. How's that? You can mark it anything you want. These are going to be easy. You got one big piece, 2 sides, and a couple. The actual seat, building the seat is easier than doing those little flip down buddy seats by far. It's crazy, huh? Ah, how do I make the lines? I'm going to show you. If you really want to know, I'll show you. Let me finish cutting this out, and then I'll show you. If you go back to my live, was it Wednesday? Last week's live, I did just that. I sewed the pattern, but I'm going to show you real quick. As soon as I get this apart. There we go. That comes off nice. I mean, like I said, I don't want to cut it with just cut it. I want to be a human with it. So I have a nice pattern, and everything comes back together exactly as I take it apart. All right, there's that. So now we have got the left, you got the right. So you got 1, doesn't matter. 1, 2, this will be 3. If you have a lot of patterns in your seat, I think the one Buick seat I did, I must have had 15 different patterns I had to sew back together. So this one's relatively easy. Let me show you. I have a box of scrap. So as you can see, like this was I think this was a Ford pickup truck pattern I had extra. It's all the same. Each line that you see here is just a sewn pattern, a sewn line, right? Oh, that's all it is. And if you look, let me show you. If you look, this is from the factory, right? That's sewn. That's a thread in there. A dried up, crusty thread. Now, the new one, it's the same thing, but this is nice, brand new vinyl and thread. Right? And you want to sew these. This is all hand sewn with a machine. See how straight? You want to get them as straight as you possibly can. I mean, even from the factory, I don't know how straight they are. They're done with a machine too, but you want to get them as straight as you possibly can. Right? So, anyway. Let me get back to where I was. Recover the cushion cords. Oh, good. Thanks. You're welcome. Yeah. Yeah. So from the factory, what I replicated from the factory actually looks. I mean, I changed the vinyl. Obviously, to get this vinyl, this is more of like an alligator skin. It's a little more. Well, it's also dry. It's cracked, and it's the vinyl is just it's old. It's cracked, so it gives you that texture to it. But now it's nice and plush, and it's gonna really make the car look nice in the interior, because I took the red and just turned it up a little bit, because the car is black exterior with red interior, and the whole interior is gonna look like that. It's gonna look like this cardinal red. The interior is cardinal red. No. It's not. It's not. Let me put this stuff away here quick. If you go back to some of the other videos I just did, I walked you through how to make those patterns. But I'm going to show you real quick while we're here how to do it. I'll show you right here on this little piece of vinyl. That way you get the gist. What I use is whatever piece of vinyl you got. You have to square it off. You have to start square. Okay? Let's pretend. So then I take my straight edge, right? I'm pretending this is square and straight. And I use a grease pencil, or China pencil. And I put my lines down. Whatever they are, as long as they're, I'm just guessing right here, okay? Right? And when you sew it, when you're sewing, you can't twist, obviously. You can't twist. You just let the machine take it. Let me foam. I think I used it up. There's a piece. There, this will work. Perfect. Perfect. All right. This is 1/4 inch scrim back foam. Goes like this. This is just for demonstration purposes here of how I get my seat pattern. Get my crappy glue out. A little bit of glue here. Ooh, boy, that stinks. All right, crappy glue. And now this is 1/4 inch. You can use 1/2 inch. The thicker you use on the foam will give you a different outcome on what it's going to look like when you're done. Alright, I just try to keep it straight as possible. This is just a demonstration. Alright, I think you get the idea. Let me show you what it looks like. Alright, now just pretend I just sewed this whole thing, right? I take a little bit of mineral spirits. It's the only thing I use to wipe off vinyl. That's it. And this will take the grease pencil and the dirt off. I'll take those lines off that I just put on there too. Alright. I think this towel has a... Alright. Now, as you can see, of course, this is black vinyl with red. That's what I had in the machine. And you want to keep it as straight as you possibly can when you're sewing. Right? And a lot of practice. And the only thing I could tell you, if you're on a seat pattern like this, because you know you're sewing, if you screw it up, if you don't take your time and you screw it up, you are going to have to start over, because you cannot fix it once you go off course. You're going to see it, and your eyes are going to go right to it. The way I look at things, if I know it's there, I know I screwed up, because nobody's perfect. Okay, let's put that right now. I don't care who you are. Nobody's perfect. And you're going to screw up. But the little things that you screw up, you're going to have to either fix or live with. So the better you get at it, the less things you're going to screw up. That's all I can say. And yeah, you can do it. It just takes time. It takes practice on a little piece of scrap. I have a whole scrap bin. Like before I go to sew this, let's say, oh, by the way, mugs are in my shop. Mugs. Before I go to sew this, I would take a scrap piece like this just to make sure my machine is feeling good today, I should say. Because, you know, they act up. It's just nature of it. But I take my time. I do the best you can do. And that's all you can do. for this night, I hope you got something out of it. I took everything apart, basically have everything marked. I'm gonna take the vinyl. Next live will come on maybe Wednesday. We'll see how it goes. Definitely live every Sunday night. Sometimes Sunday night lives we talk hot rods. I got guests that come on, and it's always something. Not necessarily upholstery, but Wednesday nights I do upholstery live, 7 o'clock. This is kind of like a bonus. This is kind of like bonus time tonight. And that's about it. Please like and subscribe. Go back and watch all the videos. I have close to 900 videos now on my site. So yeah, it's coming along. I enjoy it. I hope you do too. It's a lot of fun restoring cars. It just takes time. And there's a stat. 92% of car projects never get finished, and there's a reason for it. And the reason is, if you take your car that you're going to do a project car, and you just tear that car all apart, you are going to run out of steam by the time you get it ready to go back together. And it's a daunting task. The average car takes at least a minimum 3 to 5 years. That's working on the car a lot to restore it, if not even more. So I think that's another problem. You know, people lose steam, and don't be afraid to do the upholstery. If you're afraid to do it, look me up. I'm in the Northeast Pennsylvania. I'll do it. I know I have a lot to do here, but who knows, right? I only do 1970 and back, roughly, unless you got something cool that I don't know about. But that's about it. Anyway, thanks for coming. I will see you again, hopefully Wednesday, right? Have a good night.